Word up.
Yo, Longhairs, welcome to episode 115 of Let It Ride. Here we talk long hair and business, advocate for hair equality, and celebrate men's long manes with hair whips and high fives. If you're a guy with long hair, you're in the right place. I'm El Rubio, holding it down solo with our producer, El Garvinsky, in the control booth, and El Moreno on assignment. Our guest in this episode is a titan of flow, who first appeared on Let It Ride in May 2019, just weeks after the Great Cut, when El Moreno's freshly shaven scalp still had razor burn, and my own experiment with no facial hair went horribly wrong. A U.S. Army veteran, he served in Iraq and later spent time in Afghanistan, where he was crowned the fittest man in Afghanistan before landing back stateside and driving from Missouri to San Diego exclusively to appear on Let It Ride. You may have seen his titanic flow on ABC's The Titan Games with Dwayne Johnson, where he battled on Mount Olympus and did in fact become a Titan. He is the founder and co-owner of the Mandatory Fun Fitness Factory in Elizabethtown, Kentucky, where having fun getting jacked is mandatory. He's a dedicated supporter of the Longhairs, organizing and hosting Lunges for Longhairs, a fitness fundraising challenge benefiting children with hair loss, where he is prepared to lunge 2.5 miles down the entire Virginia Beach boardwalk. Fighting at 6 feet, 225 pounds, with 22 inches of cascading sandy blonde locks, joining live via satellite from the Commonwealth of Virginia. He is in full flow and ready to get into some deep lunges. He is Titan Chris Watts.
Let's go. All right. I'm done. I was just here for the intro.
Dude,
Bro,
welcome to Let It Ride. I've been
time.
waiting to cue that one up for a while now.
God bless.
That might have been the best one of those we've done so far. But hey,
Well,
you got a laundry
it.
list of achievements and notable accolades. We didn't want to leave anything out. So last time we talked, you had completed your return tour on U.S. soil. You had just come back from Afghanistan. You were deciding what to do next. Should I pursue the fitness career? I'm going to start a gym, maybe go full-time Titan. Just bring us up to speed from the last time we left off.
Yeah, from that majestic meeting we had in the old HQ. We were talking about the greatness. So I just went back to Kentucky, found a spot that I had seen years before that I thought would be an amazing spot for a gym. It happened to be vacant. I took it, and then that's where I started Mandatory Fun. It's been a battle, as you know, as a fellow entrepreneur. There's a lot of struggles, for sure. There's a lot of things when you're excited about a business, you just don't care about the other stuff. You just want to open the doors. So I started like that, eager. A lot of people don't know this. I can say it now because I'm comfortable with it, but I was actually living out of the gym, for those first 2 years, because of what goes into starting a business and the amount of space that I got myself into and everything else. I think the hardest part was trying to live in there without letting anybody else know. For sure.
Dude.
Yeah, that was probably a struggle and a stress point that I didn't actually need in my life. But I didn't know it at the time because I was so excited about the gym. The mission changed. I think once after I talked to you all and started, headed back to Kentucky to start that venture, I wanted to open a gym just because I wanted my own facility. Right. And you can't open up something or start a business based off your personal needs or wants. It won't succeed. So I talked to the person that I leased from, and they said, if you want to make it, you have to give back. And so then that's when the light bulb clicked. And then ever since day one, as soon as we opened the doors, it's all about trying to give back to the community or finding a way to give back. So yeah, that's all I've been doing. Just like with the event that you talked about with Lunges for Longhairs, it's all about, I don't want to ever find myself in a space where I'm not doing something for somebody else. Cause then I feel like I'm just living, and it's, I don't know, coming out of serving in the Army and a lot of other factors that play into it. I feel like I need to do something like this in order to, keep rolling.
So wait, lot to unpack here.
Yeah.
You went through the thick of COVID. When did you actually open the doors? And I mean, it's got to be like, you don't have members right out of the gate, right? You have to get, I mean, just some of the early stages. What was it like? What were you doing?
Okay. So good question. Again, it's more stuff that I can talk about now because it's all over. But yeah, in the beginning, I think the first 2 months, I had one guy that switched over from a gym that I was a part owner from years ago. He came over and was my number one member. His name's Matt. And so he came in, I think maybe 2 days after I opened the door, something like that, and was the only person I was instructing for almost like a month and a half. After that one class where I was instructing him, I would lay there on the floor with the bay doors open, hoping with the music blasted, hoping people would just look up, see what the music was coming from, and walk in. And I think after about a month and a half, I got my second member. And then for the rest of those 2 months, it was just those two grinding it out at like 5:30 in the morning. And then the rest of the day was just sitting and, wasting time practically because nobody knew I was up there. I think about the third month, people started coming up, asking questions. And the membership started to grow. And then, like you said, COVID hit. And since I am, like you said, a Titan, I make Titan moves. I did not close my gym down. Because of the relationships I made before COVID started, I was getting phone calls and I was giving advice on how to handle certain things. And so I just made sure the front part of the gym was closed down. We cracked the back a little bit. I had to black out all the windows. And so then my membership was still kind of grow because people heard under the underground that we were open. And I think that's what helped me get through that. And so then after COVID happened, it just more members started coming. And then I think it was about the third month, I think. I had my first coach come in, Aaron, and he's been with me ever since. So he was with me through COVID, everything. And so now he's there running the gym in Kentucky, and I gave him, because he worked for free for practically 2 years, I gave him part of the company. And so Now he's a gym owner. He can add his name to the list of entrepreneurs, and his wife became an entrepreneur, with a shake shop right next door. So they're killing it over there. We've actually have, what is it? We still have adults, but now like we have more teen athletes coming through and stuff like that. And so people are starting to understand that like we know what we're doing. We're not just a gym, and the fundamentals are being taught properly. So they trust us with their kids, and then the kids are crushing it in the sport that they're playing. So,
dude. Yeah. So just like structurally, there are some number of coaches. Is there a gym membership that people need to pay, or is it just the coaching that is part of the deal?
So it's just coaching. If you coach, I mean, we won't charge you. Some gyms like have that structure where like, hey, if you coach a class or two, you pay less. But to me, that's not fair. If you're going to give me time and help me out, help my business succeed, I'm not going to sit there and try to get an extra dollar out of you, for that. So as long as you can coach, you can show up on time, the members love you, you got a place to call your home to work out.
Nice. I was thinking more of the customer standpoint, and I guess a better question. So most of your clients are coming in for coaching, but do you have just an open gym also where people pay a monthly fee or whatever and they can just work out on their own? Or is it exclusively a coaching place?
No. So it's definitely membership based because it has CrossFit in it. So there's class structures. When I was there, we had like weightlifting, specific classes, and then we had strength classes. And so right now I still write the programming for our functional fitness class, and Aaron takes care of all the other stuff because it's better to have a coach on location and be in charge of those classes and run them, opposed to doing it online and trying to read a program. Because a lot of people that came in are new to the sport, or new on their journey, I should say, most of them, whether it be to CrossFit, weightlifting, or working out. So the class that I prescribe on the webpage, it's more for functional fitness, just to get people moving. And then since Aaron's there, once he feels like they're ready, then they move over to the CrossFit side or weightlifting. And then once you're there, then you have the ability to come in whenever you want. Open gym hours. We don't charge you extra for the open gym hours.
Okay.
If you're not part of the class, I think it's like a $40 fee. He might have switched it up, but I think it's around $40. You can come in, do whatever you want, but you have to demonstrate that you know what you're doing. One, because of the liability issue. And two, we don't need you getting hurt and going out and repping our gym broken.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's not good for any business.
No.
So, but yeah, there's a lot of place to protect us, but also give people a lot of room for freedom. So
now he's taken over the day to day and being there, but you're still writing some of the programming and still involved. Yeah.
Just like I said, for the new people, and it's mainly the morning sessions, because it's kind of like I don't want to say our older crowd, because some people could take that word wrong, but they're not teenagers usually. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so there's stuff that goes into, like, whether they're masters or people that just want to work out for, like, they don't have a goal of competing or anything else. They just want to be on their fitness journey and stay healthy. It's more geared towards that. And then once they feel, like I said, comfortable, or if they want to compete, they got to come back later in the day, because Aaron is the coach for the competitors and everything else.
Okay.
Yeah.
How big is Elizabethtown?
They're growing. They're building.
But I mean, it's not a huge population to pull. I mean, it can't be easy to, find people who are ready to try fitness and then get into a program. I mean, it's not an easy sell.
It's not.
To recruit membership to the gym.
In that aspect, it's not that big. And there's 4 other gyms that are like ours, and then like 2 global style gyms.
Mm-hmm.
And like, there really isn't room for like another gym. But I think where we're getting our people is word of mouth. And it's more from like the kids performing better in their sport. Now their team members want to get better. Like the parents notice it and they're like, well, how can my kid do it? And so that's where that's where we kind of recoup, the memberships from there. Right. We don't really do a lot of, advertising or anything. And I think what helped us at the beginning was the fact, because I was on the show, and the connections that I made through trying to organize stuff for the community. My name gets dropped a lot. So that kind of helped.
Okay.
But other than that, I mean, we don't try to go out, and we're not hard, like, trying to advertise or anything.
But it's some name recognition and some credibility, and the credibility has been building with the performance of the athletes in their sports. Right.
And another thing that just helped us last year was 3 of our girls, their softball team just crushed the championship. So, like, a lot of those parents, like, they play a lot of travel ball when they're not in school, and those parents are just noticing. We actually have parents that will drive like 45 minutes just so their kid can work out at the gym. So
that's freaking awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
So wait, why is it Mandatory Fun?
Because
was that the original name? Fun is mandatory.
I got it from a podcast I was listening when I was coming back from San Diego, going back to Kentucky. I was listening to a veteran podcast, and he said something that triggered me, that like, when you're in the service, you're told to do stuff. You're voluntold, right? You have to do these, like, whether it be at parades or go pick up rocks off the grass or something, pick up cigarette butts. You're voluntold to do this stuff with your fellow teammates or whatever your service members. And usually within that, there's a lot of griping at the beginning, like, oh, this is stupid, whatever. But at the end of it, you guys are cracking jokes and stuff, and it just becomes a fun experience. You have a memory, like camping out, doing field problems. It'll start raining, but you got to stay out there. You know what I mean? So it's the things that you have to do, but you create the memories and the stories to make it better through the camaraderie process. And that's just all what gym is. You find a person that you love to work out with, your fitness pals or your classmates that are in the same class. You don't know them at the beginning. You come in because you want to get healthy, but you don't want to work out. You know what I mean? Necessarily. So you find somebody you click. Every day is a joke. This hurts. It's too cold or it's too hot or whatever, but you keep coming back. Like you guys need each other in the end. So that's where the mandatory fun part transfers over. Yeah.
Do you talk about that, or do people talk about their slogans or anything, or is it more kind of just a name?
Honestly, people that are prior service or have been in the service will say something to our members because it's by Fort Knox. So if Fort Knox is becoming like this little Pentagon hub in a sense, like it's all top brass. The units, it used to be a training facility, but they stopped that and moved that to another base. So it's just, like I said, just top brass and stuff. And so people that work as a civilian who go to the gym will go in there, and then the service members will either see them wearing a shirt or they'll talk about the gym at work. And then they're like, that's funny, whatever. And then we might get a member off of that. But usually the only conversation piece that comes from that name is if you run into a prior service person or somebody who's still serving.
Okay.
Like they get it. But on the civilian side, it's just a name. I've explained it when we first opened, but I don't like reiterate it, or I don't talk about my service time hardly. It's a thing of the past, unless somebody brings it up. So
I feel like you could still pull it out though, even in the non-service context. Asking members, you guys having fun? Good. It's mandatory.
Aaron does. Aaron cracks a lot of jokes, but he's also wears the uniform still. So,
okay.
Yeah. He keeps all that alive, and that the funness, for sure, the sarcasm and everything else. So
that's great.
That's his style. That's what he loves to do. So,
I mean, building a nice community, people who like being there, like working out together, or even just complaining about it together, or just that camaraderie. It could not have been easy to build. So,
no, especially when people are like, the majority of the members are just starting the fitness journey. It'd be easy if you had people come over and they're like, oh yeah, I've worked out for 2 years, whatever, I've been doing this. But that's like far and few between. And I kind of love it like that. And I'm sure Aaron does too, even though at times it's frustrating, because you always have to like go back to your toolbox and try to explain at the lowest level to try to get somebody to comprehend a movement or so. But then when it's achieved, that gratification and everything else and the excitement that goes into it makes everything worth it, So I'm sure it's the same thing, almost like the products that you guys make. You got your testing phase, blah, 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 headache, frustration. But then when you knock out a winner like HydroFlow, I'm just going to plug my guys, like HydroFlow, like you guys get amped, and it's just like a big part of your HQ, I'm sure. I assume it's the same way just because the energy I know you guys have. So, but yeah.
Man, absolutely. And I mean, anything, whether it's a product, that took a year to bring in, or just, a successful campaign or an email or an event or something that we pull off, or even honestly just getting this space and like building it out to make it our own and where we love it here. It just, you mentioned just the feeling of gratification, and yeah, there's very few things about, there's a lot that goes into being a business owner. And I wouldn't trade it really for anything. It's all the juice. Like
I'm sometimes I wish I would have went to school for business or finance or something, because it would make things easier. But I'm excited. I'm still happy, no regrets of like the path that I took. So yeah,
we're doing it. We're still on it. Still on the path. Just keep it on the tracks.
Yeah.
So bring us back a little bit. Last time you were on the show, you had recently competed on Mount Olympus. Any updates from the Titan Games or any of the fellow Titans?
There's still a group of us that still chat. One of them is Brianna Daniels. She's killing it in the NASCAR game. I don't know if you watch NASCAR or anything like that, but she's the first African American woman to be in the pit crew or be a tire changer.
Okay.
And like So I still have connections with her. I just wanted to hype her up for a second. And then James, the dude that like beat me, destroyed me, and became the champ.
Yes.
You know, we'll reach out to each other every now and then just to check on each other. And then, oh man, Montez. I don't know if y'all remember Montez, but he just recently went through some stuff, but now we're back onto, communication level, and that dude's heart, man, it's so big. Like I can't lose contact with that guy. That's his positivity. He's out in LA still, but yeah, so there's a couple of us that still keep in contact. As far as the show goes, I mean, it sucks that I think it's kind of over. But I think the way that they switched it up in season 2, there's no direction really. It's just a name, I think.
Hey,
I don't know. We see. I could be wrong, but you know,
dude, you became a Titan. That's a lifetime title, dude. Whatever happens with the show, you're there. You earned it.
I would say, I guess it makes my value a little bit higher since they can't be more produced, right?
Right. There's a lot fewer, like baseball cards. The rarest are the right. Highest of value.
For sure. But it was a good time. Again, another connection that we have through NBC, just because y'all were on, man, say it for me, Shark Tank.
Yes. You must be out of your statute of limitations by now. I think I remember signing all the stuff. It was 3 years that you like can't sign, or they can. I don't know. Yeah. It was a thick legal document releasing all rights to dissemination of what happened on the show. And well, you had that too, because there was going to be like an outcome, and they were saying you can't reveal the outcome before the show airs, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think we only had a year on ours.
Oh, dude, ours was the full 3 year. We submitted to basically full-time surveillance, and I don't know. I remember it being pretty intense. We actually asked, we're like, dude, I don't want to sign all this shit. Should we even do it? But yeah, cooler heads prevailed.
I was gonna say it's a good thing you did.
Yes,
but but then on your side, I don't know if it's more because like you could go from that show to another investor show or something.
We could now. I think that was part of it, is we could not go on another show within 3 years. That was part of the deal. But we're outside of whatever statute. We'd be even 5 years out by now from the time that we first did the open casting. So should be in the clear. Don't have any outstanding applications out there for any TV shows. But at least we'd be clear if we want to pursue the big screen again.
Yeah, I think on the competitor side or on the reality TV, it makes sense just because of how long it takes, I guess, to promote it. Plus, when they move it over to another country, you don't want to be in another country a year out, and then all of a sudden you're on another show, and then they lose. You know, the stories could be different, whatever angle that they're trying to push, and. Which I didn't know about
that makes sense.
Until you don't find out until you start getting, let's say, I think it was like 3 months after the show aired, they just started it on Fox in Asia. So then it's like ramping it back up again because you start getting a couple more followers, whatever, and then you find out why. It's like, oh, they're just now finding out about the show, whatever. Yes. And then they move over to South America, and it's a whole thing. Yeah,
it runs its course
for sure. There's a lot that people don't know about TV. Yeah. But it's fun, I feel like.
So the impetus for this show is a fitness fundraising challenge. Lunges for Longhairs. We're going to talk it up. We got all kinds of great copy and some assets and things lined up that we're going to put on the blog post. But tell us, what is Lunges for Longhairs? Why are you doing it? Give us the breakdown.
All right. I'm doing it because you guys, you guys have this amazing event that it seems like it's going to probably go every 4 years ish, right? It's been 4 years. 5 years. At least to give people a chance to grow their hair back.
Exactly.
So
yes.
Y'all put a lot of legwork into that one event. You do a lot throughout the year with, people who buy products, and you give a little bit back from each product sold. I think it's just like, again, I talked about my one thing for self, or to give back a lot, right? And I feel like it would help fill in that dead space in a sense, and to always keep you guys up and people to appreciate what you actually do. You know what I mean? Children with Long Hair is an amazing organization. You guys wouldn't have picked them if they weren't. I've actually talked to two of the ladies that work there in the process of starting this whole thing. So I feel like it's not a bad decision on my part as well, you know? And the lunges come because you guys put so much leg work into it. I'm actually going to use my legs.
Dude, yes.
Everybody else to use their legs to bring awareness to it. And everything again it all goes to children with hair loss, but lunges for long hairs funnels through the long hairs, right? And it just help boost help you guys reach the goal that you want to obtain, through the hair donations and monetary value. So, and the knowledge itself, right? The awareness, that too. But so it's the only thing I could think of. I'm not a creative guy. I just work out. So I try to just trash my body for any good reason, whether it be for a TV show or a cause like the one that you guys brought to the forefront of my mind. So,
dude, badass, man. And putting in the legwork, that could end up being the name of this podcast. Can't believe I missed that, because you did have that in some of the original stuff that you sent over. So we'll be using that heavily throughout the blog post and probably even for the title. But it's fantastic, man. We're pumped. You've been a long time supporter. Told us about the idea, a chance to get children with hair loss involved. Also a chance to get some of the members of your gym involved. Hopefully bring some awareness, some notoriety to mandatory fun. Hopefully the way the GoFundMe is set up, it looks like even members of the gym would want to share that out to their own friends and family and tell them, hey, we're going to be doing lunges. So, and then you get the chance to lunge 2.5 miles. I'm going to ask more about that in a minute. But the gym members themselves, how much are they aware of this? Are they know that they're going to be into forced lunges on October 29th? Are they doing this voluntarily? Yes.
Everybody knows by this point, and I've made some posts to where the rest of the community will know about it too. Lunges or squats or leg thrashing is always part of a CrossFit workout, right? So they're going to show up. They're going to know they're going to do lunges, but they're also going to do some other stuff with the workout. The only thing that's going to be like mainly lunges is the part that me and a couple of friends do here at the beach. So it's just, and I'm telling people, I said, it doesn't matter if you do 10 minutes worth of lunges, if you do a lunge workout where you lunge a little bit, run, lift weights, whatever. We just need to record the lunge aspect of it, use the hashtag for the awareness process. And I appreciate the fact that you said, mandatory fund will get some notoriety out of this, but it's not the goal. It's just a hub for people who want to do lunges with other people, who happen to not do lunges out on their own. The gym name could stay out of it, like, cause it's not about the gym. So
still doesn't hurt though.
I know, but I just had to say that because anytime I do something for a reason or a cause, it's not to bring other names to the forefront of it. It's to keep the eye on the prize, which is children with hair loss. So.
Absolutely, but I gotta believe that the members of the gym it will help to build even more community within the gym, that they're doing this. They're participating in the thing together. They're getting the shout out, members of the gym. So, I mean, I don't think it's bad to have some notoriety and even some community building in the process.
Right. No, I know. I can respect. I just had to say that. So.
Of course.
So it's known. So.
Of course.
Yeah.
So a little bit, just correct me if I'm wrong here. So how it works is you have a GoFundMe set up for lunges for long hairs. People could go on and sponsor people, and it's $1 per lunge. So they'll split up, and the goal is to raise $5,000 for children with hair loss.
Right. And I feel like it's an obtainable goal, 5,000, because it takes roughly 3 for one child to be blessed with the golden locks or the curly hair or whatever hairstyle that they're going to be blessed with. So I figure we get a kid in plus a mullet. You know what I mean? I'm sure a kid, whatever the kids are into, I'm sure a mullet will be part of the success. But anyways, I feel like 5,000 is not a big price to ask for this type of event. But yeah, it's the businesses. I'm asking for a $250 donation, and it's gonna be for 400 meters, and then it's 500 for, you could do half a mile or a mile. It's up to you.
Okay.
The member aspect of it, the ones that come to the gym, if you're a member, they're only gonna pay $5 or $10 donation, whatever their heart feels like they can give. And if you're a non-member, it's gonna be $15 to $20 to come in and work out and do lunges.
Okay.
So it's, as far as like when it comes to the side of Virginia Beach and lunging down the boardwalk, it's just going to be me, my girlfriend, her friend, and then the owner of Awaken Inside, who's going to let us borrow their videographer and be the main sponsor for Virginia Beach. It's just going to be us four.
Okay. So all lunging?
All lunging as much as they want to. Like I said, I like to just trash my body for a cause, and it's a goal of mine to lunge the whole thing. Afterwards, I'm gonna jump right in that ocean because it's gonna be nice and cold, so it's gonna be an immediate ice bath. But I could lunge 50 meters, let somebody else do 50 meters, whatever. I just feel complete if I do the whole thing for everything that I'm trying to start for the awareness. You know what I mean? It's a sickness. I'm sure it's a sickness, and people are like, screw that, whatever. It's just what I do. Like, I work out. Why not test what I can do for myself? And that's the benefit I get from it, while I collect or reap rewards to push towards, the organization which I'm trying to raise awareness for. So,
true or false? If you hit the donation goal of $5,000, you are obligated and required to lunge the entire 2.5 miles.
Right. Facts.
So if we want to see you getting it, we can make a donation on the GoFundMe, do our best to make sure it hits the $5,000 mark, and subject you to just some punishment to the legs.
Yes, 100%. Let's do it.
All right. Well, we're going to put this out to all of our channels, and I'm sure that some of our listeners will love to see you hitting the deep lunges all the way down the boardwalk. So the Longhairs will make our donation, and we'll put it out to the community and do our best to make sure you cannot walk for 3 days.
Good. I already took those days off from work.
Great. So
I planned ahead for that.
This is Saturday, October 29th, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir. At 9:00 in the morning.
Okay. And then there's another aspect to it that you already mentioned. If you're not in Virginia Beach or in Elizabethtown, Kentucky, you can still participate. We can hit some lunges here at the warehouse, get some film doing it, and then use a hashtag.
Right. So a lot of people maybe aren't into position to donate money, but you can always do a lunge. So take your part, video yourself doing a couple of lunges, put that sucker on Instagram, hashtag lunges for Longhairs. And then, you can, tag children with hair loss, Longhairs. You can tag me if you feel like you want to, release those companies. So that way we at least know who's all involved and how much like you could care or put aside time to care about somebody else beside yourself just for a couple of seconds or an hour or 30 minutes, however long you want to do lunges. So, the kids really appreciate it. I'm sure they will. And just raising that awareness. So donate your time. Hashtag it.
All right. We're going to follow up with Children with Hair Loss and their entire staff there in Michigan and make sure they're hitting their lunges on the 29th. We'll try to make sure to get them involved. I'm sure they'll be happy to do some lunging. You said though, some people can't make a donation, and that's understandable. But I do always send the message that, look, donate $1. Like anyone could donate $1. I'll send you $1 just so you donate it, because on things like a GoFundMe, it's more about the number of donations and seeing another person make a commitment. Even if, so make a $1 donation, make a $5 donation, anything you can do to support. And we'd love you to have, do the lunges with us as well. But in any case, when we were fundraising for the Great Cut, that was always our message. Like, hey, it doesn't matter if just to get your name on the board and another person who was involved and made a contribution, not about the amount of money that you put in there.
I love it. Yeah, exactly. I never thought about it like that, but no, for sure. What's a dollar? You know, we waste pennies every day. So
donate $1 to the campaign. And then all of a sudden you have 1,000 donations on there, and some of them are $5 and $10, $20, whatever else. But it's more about just making the donate, just contribute, making a contribution, participating. For sure.
And you know, I didn't honestly pick October because of the whole cancer aspect. But you know, some of these kids can't grow the hair because of cancer. So if you feel like my dad died of brain cancer. How's my niece? 8. I had to ask my girlfriend. 8. She's 8. So he died the day before she was born. So 8 years ago. So I got like a closeness to cancer, and I'm pretty sure like 80% of Americans have some type of tie to cancer. So, it just happened to work out like that. But yeah, $1, just, if you don't know the kid, know the person who you lost to the cause, and then help the kid gain, confidence back, because, you know, they're going through a lot right now too. So.
Yeah, they are. And we are actually going to be attending the Children with Hair Loss charity ball right after Lunges for Longhairs. So I am sure there will be a mention of that at the charity ball. It's their annual. Well, they haven't had it for 2 consecutive years due to COVID. They're bringing it back this year. Finally, it's in Livonia, Michigan. This will be our 3rd time going to the charity ball. It's their biggest fundraiser of the year. And that is where we actually get to meet a lot of the kids, the recipients of the hair replacements. And having gone a couple times, we've gotten to know many of them, you know, fairly well. And it's going to be good to see them again. And I know that they will be deeply appreciative, and so will the staff at Children with Hair Loss. They are, like you said, a fine organization. So maybe we'll just make them all start doing lunges at the charity ball when we're there with them.
There you go. Yeah, I saw that the ball was happening. That's on my list. I don't want to say my bucket list. It's my list of things I'm going to do. Because I did notice that you guys went not too long after we first did the podcast, or linked up the first time.
Yep. It was November 2019.
Yeah. And it just looked amazing. So I definitely on the list to go.
Yeah. That would have been the second one, because 2020 they canceled. So 18 and 19 we went and haven't been since then. It's going to be great.
Yeah. I think it's dope. You guys keep it up, man.
All right. Well, we will be promoting Lunges for Long Hair, dope project, for Longhairs. I mostly just want to see you suffering through 2.5 miles of lunges. Are you holding weights, or is this just an unweighted? I mean, that's asking too much here, isn't it? How many lunges is 2.5 miles?
I don't know. I guess it depends on how long your legs are. But you say that. One of the catches to help get the donations to come in was hitting a goal and wearing the vest.
Yes.
I would be out there for 5 hours, honestly. My goal is to do 400 meters within 20 minutes. That's my rate. That's my pace. So it's going to take a minute. It's going to take a bit of time, but I have a goal. I have a pace. So hopefully I can stick to it.
All right. We believe in you. And if we don't believe in you, we're going to just put some money down to force you into doing it and have fun watching. And we'll hit some lunges with you here too, either at the warehouse or at our various homes and abodes. We'll make sure to hashtag Lunges for Longhairs and hit the lunges. I got a little turf toe thing going here, so I might have to do some squats instead, but I'm working on it. So hopefully within a couple of weeks, we'll be cleared for activity.
Nice. Yeah. Just do some Bulgarian split squats. Just hike that foot up on a bench.
That'll work.
Those aren't fun either.
No, those are excruciating. But it would save the toe, so I could do it. That's probably what I'm gonna end up doing.
Good. I can just link together.
Dude, tell us about the hair. Last time you were just barely past the shoulders. Had a fantastic appearance on the Titan Games and on the Longhairs podcast, but you're like a foot longer. I presume this is today the longest hair you've ever had in your life?
Ever. Yep. Breaking records right now.
Every day.
Yeah, you guys definitely got me in my infancy. And I'd never imagined growing my hair out this long until y'all pulled me in. If it wasn't for y'all pulling me in, I probably would have kept it up here, or it might be gone. Who knows? But, yeah.
Dude, it is remarkably long. That is down like past your chest, pretty much to the stomach area. Show us what you got there. He's got the Great Cut 2024 Measure 12 t-shirt, a campaign we can all agree on.
Right. Dude, I'm so stoked about this event. Like, in my head, it's a Coachella event that you donate hair minus all the extra, the extra stuff that you hear about in the news. So just the music, the camaraderie, like the energy. I've never been to Coachella, but that's what I have in my head. That's my head movie that's plays. And so I'm so excited about it. I actually have, some kids back home. Ever since I told them I was donating it, they've grown their hair out. So one of them said that they would donate it. The other one's like, he's 12 years old. It's not long enough to donate. But the dude I think he's a junior, his hair goes fast. But I think he might be coming out to Cali, with me to donate his hair. So, but yeah, that's what it's for, man. It's for 2024. Sometimes it's a headache. It's recently started to treat me or make me feel like I'm in a Chinese finger trap and I'm laying on my back because sometimes I can't sit up because I'm, cause it's trapped. And, but other than that, I mean, I'm loving it. I'm glad I'm doing it. Yeah. I can't wait to see how long it is. I need to actually get it trimmed, at least another time before I just let it go or let it ride. But
yes, dude, I will be honest. I am due for a trim. I won't get too much into it, but my hair professional has been on sabbatical and it's starting to become a problem for me. I have some split ends. I have some hair damage. I need to go in for a little hair care. What I highly recommend trying a keratin treatment. It's not inexpensive and it takes, a couple hours. It's a thing. It's a process, but I cannot wait to get one. It kind of it really smooths everything out. And as it starts getting like to that length, you're going to have the ends that are damaging and, you're getting split ends and what have you. But then you also start getting kinks and kind of tangles, and the hair tangles a lot more easily for me, at least. And it's in the back, like right behind my skull. It gets super tangled and matted up back there. And I go in and after a keratin treatment, it's like just a whole nother hair world. And, over time, those problems start to resurface again, but it gives you like several months at least of just those tangles aren't coming, the split ends, and your hair is just smooth and shiny. And yeah, I'm talking myself into it more than I'm talking you into it. But
I'm sold. I think Naomi, my girlfriend, she's had that done before. And she just got her hair done not too long ago. Her hair is naturally curly. So every now and then she'll go in and she'll get it straightened out and stuff. And it looks amazing, when she does it. So
looks amazing, feels amazing, is amazing.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. It's been a minute since I had it trimmed. So I'm kind of scared because the lady that cut it last time gave it a shape, and I missed the podcast where y'all talk about, maybe cutting it straight across and keeping it, all even. So there's a little unevenness to it. So I feel like if I go in and get it trimmed, it's just going to, yank it back up to here or something. And I'm not going to even it out, honestly, but it does terrify me to see how much they'll cut off for the trim part. Dude, even though you say, hey, I'm donating my hair. Some people,
it is up to you. And I'm going to be going to a new person now myself. So I have kind of been mentally preparing myself for this. I've rehearsed it. I'm going to say, no, look, I know I need a trim. I know I need a little bit, no more than 1 inch in any given place. I usually say 1/16 of an inch, no further, but just cause it's been a long time, I'm going to say, look, you could take a little bit off up to 1 inch. And then that gives them a very clear measuring, not just like, oh, just take a little bit off or, something that's a little bit more ambiguous. That is a very clear measured length that they should stay away from. So refresh yourself. We've talked about, you've told us about it before. the blog post, Confidently Navigate Your Visit to the Salon. And it'll give you a few tips there, what to say, what not to say, some very important don't do's in that post. But just before you head in there, give that one a refresh and you'll have all the tools you need to walk confidently into the salon.
You know, actually, I've watched that video twice since it's come out.
Yes.
He's right what he tells you. I just never knew some of that stuff before. But I don't know, like getting a new hairdresser to do something, like it's just that initial, you're gonna be scared, especially when you're growing your hair out for a reason. It's different than when you're just like, all right, I'm just getting my hair cut, whatever. Oh, you messed it up. Okay, too bad. But you're actually like affecting another person when you take off too much. Like, so you could take somebody who's at 8 inches right now and put them up to like back up to 4 or 5. And then it's just, now you got to wait for a whole another 5 years. So if it wasn't for it affecting not only myself, but like somebody else, then it wouldn't be an issue, right? I'd be mad going about my day, but I feel like I've done a lot of hard work to try to keep this, growing, and for somebody to mess it up it's just, it affects me more than it should probably, but it's because I know where it's going. And I don't know if you feel the same way or if other people feel the same way that are growing their hair out for the cause, but it just burns me up inside.
To be honest, I feel that way regardless of the cause. Yes, the cause is important, but I just, in general, I don't want, someone to slip with the scissors and accidentally take off 3 inches or something ridiculous like that. So yes, yeah. I very much feel the same way.
Oh, it's, I've never dedicated myself to something like this before. You know what I mean? So it's that first timers, feeling and all the stuff that you gotta go through. You've been there. We know, but, and I'm sure you feel it again. It's just, it's stuff you can overcome. It's just, you're going to feel it first. So I just got a lot of feelings about it. Yeah.
Hey, we're very attached to our hair.
If that makes sense to anybody. But yeah.
I think you're speaking to an audience that will understand what you mean, and it will resonate with them as it does for me. So how could someone get involved in Lunges for Longhairs? We'll have all of the stuff here on the blog post where you found this episode, but how could they connect with it? There's a GoFundMe that is connected from the post. How else can our audience connect with you? Awesome.
So yeah, I'm posting a lot. I'm bigger on Instagram than I am on Facebook. So it's at CWatts13. Even though at CWatts13 is the same for all platforms. Twitter, I hardly use. I should probably get back into it. Naomi's bigger on it than I am. Facebook is but Instagram is where I have my main focus. Why? I don't know. But at CWatts13, you can stay up to date on all the latest and greatest for the event. What I'm doing, how I'm prepping. You can click the link in my bio. I've washed away all the other distractions, from, those links that give you multiple options. I've washed that out. I've just put the link to the GoFundMe to make it easy. So click on the link, do your donation. Again, on the 29th, you can either do it at 9:00 a.m. your time, or whenever you decide to wake up and feel like you're getting your fitness in. Just record yourself, doing some lunges. Take a picture if you don't feel comfortable doing recording yourself. Post it. Hashtag Lunges for Longhairs. I'll also have the businesses, everybody knows you all, the Longhairs plus, children with hair loss, tag them when you do it. So we know the, engagement part and stuff like that. And we just know that, we just know that you're paying attention, I guess. There's something else I didn't say, but, since I have TBI and brain injuries, my mind just like melts sometimes, but you get it by now.
You get it. You get it. Lunges for Longhairs. We're going to have it all linked up right here on the page. So all you got to worry about is doing your lunges and taking some imagery and putting a post out there and getting your legs ready for big lunge day. Yeah. What about Mandatory Fun? You guys got a nice website. I was checking out. What is the website?
Our website is trash. Hey, honestly, I've been talking to a friend of mine who's in the business, and we've been working on it for 2 years. And I know Aaron's upset with me, but Facebook, you can look up Mandatory Fun on Facebook. Our logo is an M and an F, and we have the flag associated with it. Instagram, it's MF_Heartland CrossFit. But yeah.
All right. Well, we'll link up the gym also and all the hashtags and all the stuff. You can find it right here on the Longhairs blog. And
awesome.
If you happen to be in Elizabethtown listening to this, then drop in for some mandatory fun. We're not messing around.
Nope. Come out and join us.
Well, man, we're pumped to have you as a longtime supporter. The hair is looking phenomenal. Are we going to see Titan Chris Watt at the Great Cut 2024?
Oh, 100%. I'm bringing people with me. My brother's got some dope hair. His is better than mine.
And he donates regularly, right? You said your brother has been donating for many years?
Yeah, it's something we connected on that I totally neglected from the beginning because I don't know, I was either too caught up in myself at that time in life or I was overseas. I wasn't paying attention. But yeah, it surprised me when he told me that. So I was like, dope, save your hair. And then, yeah, he'll probably be out there in Cali with me. If not, I'm coming with a suitcase full of hair from everybody. But yeah, I plan on coming with a squad for sure.
Phenomenal, man. We are going to be pumped for the Watts contingent to make their way westward across the United States, maybe hire a big, huge bus and pick up Longhairs along the way who will join in for the March 16th, 2024, the Great Cut. It's going to be legendary, and we're really proud to have such a badass supporter. Rock solid, man. You've been with us for a long time, and putting your hair where your mouth is. With Lunges for Longhairs, setting this thing up and bringing some awareness. So we're pumped, man. We appreciate you. And thanks for coming on the show again. It's a lot better when we had it in person, but that'll be your third appearance is going to have to be right here at the HQ.
Oh, yeah, I'm stoked. I can't wait to see it. Like we talked before, I've seen the OG HQ, so I'm ready to see this upgrade. It looks phenomenal on camera. Can't wait to be a part of it for sure.
All right. Well, it's only a year and a half away, so keep letting it ride in the meantime. And thanks again for joining the show, Chris. And until next time, see.